Hi everyone, it's Pamela, otherwise known as Molten Girl. Welcome back to my channel, and this is my second video. I thought I would just give a brief introduction to myself and who I am so that you have a face behind the name Molten Girl, which originated from my working with glass back in 2004. I used to create glass beads. I'm a self-taught glass artist and created beads I will show you just briefly here, such as these. These are encased focal beads, and I do believe I have a photo of these up close on my Instagram account. Those are encased glass, and I do have another set of beads somewhere. If I find them, here they are. Sorry. Anyhow, these are my other flower beads. They are raised florals. Really, really pretty as well. So that's where the name Molten Girl came from, because I work with a torch fueled by propane and oxygen concentrators. So Molten Girl. Anyhow, thank you for all the overwhelming love and support on my first official YouTube video. With that said, I'm going to dive into the next one. And I do sell original one-of-a-kind pieces of art. I don't have a lot of mass-produced pieces. In fact, I don't have any. The only one alcohol ink painting I have done prints of is the Apollo Peacock, because it was so highly requested. But that being said, I only made 20 prints. So once the 20 are sold, they're gone. The original is mine. It's hanging in my home, and that's it. So it's original, one of a kind. Once it's sold, it goes to its new owner. It's loved forever, and that's it. So without further ado, let's dive into my next video. Grab your paints, grab your canvases, birchwoods, whatever you'd like to paint on, and come paint with me. Nice to see everybody. And again, thank you for all of the love and support. You have no idea what it means to me. So I'm hoping this is the start of a really wonderful journey together. Thanks again. I'm filming a shorter video today. It's not going to be as long as the first one. As promised, people have been asking and requesting that I film a video showing whether the water with titanium white works as a cell activator in place of Australian Floetrol. So I will be filming that today. I have a small 4x4 by, I think it's about 1 inch birchwood panel here today. And I will be showing you no mixing. I will make a separate video on that, but let's just see whether this water with titanium white is as great as everyone or a few artists out there have said it is. So I thought I would try it for myself. I have tested it behind the scenes, but I will leave it up to you to decide whether you like it and you feel that it's going to work well for you. Before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for the love and overwhelming support and positive responses on my first video. It meant a lot to me, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm here to help you and share what I know, and hopefully it's doing just that. So thank you for joining me on my journey, and let's create some beautiful art. I have pre-mixed my colors here, and I have a small shot glass, okay, and then I'm going to use the Amsterdam titanium white for the white in my cell activator. So I'm almost out of it, but let me see how much I have left. Let's just pour a little bit here. You don't need a lot for a cell activator, but I want to have enough in here that I don't have to scrape the bottom of the cup to get the paint out. So that looks okay. I hope all of you have been doing well. I've been busy teaching a course. I had a class on the Dutch pours at a local art gallery, and that was a lot of fun. So I'm going to be teaching another one coming up in the new year. Okay, so I just have some plain water in this hair color bottle. It's filtered fridge water. There's nothing special. It's not distilled or anything like that. It's just filtered fridge water, or you can probably use tap water. I just happen to use the fridge water. I'm not measuring. I was told, and I think Erica Hughes mentioned, that you add enough water until you get an explosion of cells, but I know it has to be fairly thin. So I'm just going to pour some water in here, just a little bit, and I'm going to mix it slowly, a little bit at a time. Trying to get this video filmed in the daylight so that I don't have to have my studio light on, because it's much nicer when you have natural light. Anyhow, so what did I want to tell everybody? That I've been thinking a lot about this style of art in particular, and I'm going to add some more water, whether it has a name or not, and I don't think it does really. We can be inspired by artists, but I was watching the movie You've Got Mail recently, where Tom Hanks was telling Meg Ryan that she doesn't own the phrase shop around the corner. And the same thing with art techniques and styles of art. No one owns a specific technique or style. Rembrandt didn't own the Renaissance, nor did Michelangelo. A little bit more water, guys. My previous video, I named my piece Northern Lightning because it resembled, to me, a strike of lightning going through. But I mean, if you want to name that, or you're painting lightning, or lacing, or blooming flower, or whatever you want to do, you have my blessing to do that. I don't own the lightning effect. I don't care if you use the name lightning in your pieces. If you want to tag me, great. If not, I'm easygoing either way. It doesn't bother me. Lightning exists in nature. I don't own lightning. It's an effect that I get in my art. But by all means, you're the one painting your paintings. Own the painting. It's your painting. It's not mine. So by all means, if it looks like lightning when you finished with it, call it lightning or whatever it is you want to call it. I'm not going to take offense to that. And if I requested, for example, I taught an alcohol ink class on my peacocks a couple of months ago. This is fairly thin now, but maybe a little bit more water. I taught an alcohol ink class on my peacocks a couple of months ago. And if my expectation was that artists out there, after learning what I taught them, had to quote me and my name in every peacock they made, it would get a little ridiculous. So I think you know what I'm trying to say. Same thing goes for any style of art, peacocks, flowers. I mean, again, I'm going to say that there's no copyright on art techniques or art in general. So you're free to use whatever style you want. That's pretty thin. I think I'm happy with that, guys. So let's see if it's going to work. So I will set that aside. And I'm not going to hide it anywhere. Maybe I'll put it here so you guys don't think I'm hiding it and then switching it with something else, because my videos may be lengthy, but they're not edited in any way. Only my rambling. I try not to edit my video or do anything behind the scenes so that it looks suspicious as to, oh, did she grab that container or did she grab another one that she had pre-mixed? No, I did not. This is my Glidden semi-gloss white base. I don't know if you guys want to see the container of that. I mean, I can show it to you. Glidden semi-gloss white base. Now, I should have mentioned in my first video, but I didn't. When you're working with wood, maybe I should put gloves on. When you're working with wood, the wood is very forgiving and it's very smooth. So I find the semi-gloss paint works very well as a base. But if I'm working with canvas, for example, it's slightly more porous, and therefore I find the satin formula of paint as a white base works a little bit better. So I'm just pouring this on like I did in my first video. And I have a stick in the middle so the paint drips off. Normally I don't do it this way, but I wanted you guys to see. I'm just going to cover the sides again like icing a cake. I find that it just helps disperse the paint when you're putting it in the middle later on. So we're gonna do the icing of the cake. So it's nice and smooth around the edges. Very nice. I'm happy. Whatever doesn't get covered, I'll cover it later. So I thought I'd mix up the colors a little bit and not do the same old, although I'm addicted to those colors, the gold, purple, and iridescent turquoise. I thought, I'll do something a little bit different, a little brighter. So I do have some pre-mixed gold. And for my mixes today, although I used the Valspar in my other video, I'm using the Sherwin-Williams HGTV Ultra Deep Base that a lot of people have been raving about. So I mixed that, and I promise I will do a mixing video in the next few days. I mixed about 30 cc's or mLs of the HGTV Sherwin-Williams to 7.5 ml or cc's of Jo Sonja's gloss varnish. So I used to use 2 to 1, but I slightly cut down on the gloss varnish, and I find that I get similar results. So anyway, we're gonna put the gold down first. A little bit here in the middle. It's a little thick, but I'm hoping it's gonna work. Well, it is what it is. I mixed these up yesterday, so hopefully they will work for us today. So I have a rich gold. I have a magenta from Golden that I have mixed up as well. So I'm gonna drop that here on top of the gold. There we go. Next, I'm going to maybe add a lighter pink. This is the iridescent blue violet from PBO. I don't know how they pronounce their stuff, but it's an iridescent blue violet. It's really pretty. Maybe we'll go for a lime green or dark purple, then followed by lime green. Yeah, maybe that'll work nicer. I don't know. I don't know, guys. This is, you know, the way you layer your colors rather. Karen from Waterfall Acrylics had a very interesting video yesterday where she was talking about that and the manner in which you choose your colors and how you put them on. It does have a significant difference in the outcome, so it's worthwhile watching, and I'll link it below in my description box because she's very nice. And that's it. And the final step, I think, I always say less is more, so I prefer to use a little bit less in terms of how many colors to put on. I'm just tilting this a little bit. I don't think this is even because the colors seem to be going towards the camera, but I will demonstrate this on this piece of this wooden stirring stick here, and then I'll put it on something more solid and secure so it dries evenly. Okay, guys, here goes my cell activator. So this is going to be trial and error. If not, we swipe and we start again. I'm all for, you know, learning from my own mistakes as well. Okay, so this is the water with the titanium white. I'm just putting a little bit on there. Okay. And I'm going to blow this out. I'm trying to flip this around slowly so it doesn't go flying. Okay. Let us see what we get. Well, we do have some cells, I think. I'm trying to let this come to the middle. It's actually, it looks like a flower right now. It's actually quite pretty. So at this point, do you have to stretch it out? I'm just taking some more of that semi-gloss white I have, and I'm just covering the edges because for some reason I think in the process this paint on the sides that I iced got a little moved here. Actually, I'm liking the negative space on this one, guys. I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually quite pretty. I'm gonna bring this closer up to you guys so you guys can see. Hopefully not flip it, but let's see. I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I stretch? Woo, guys. That's funny, that's funny. Nothing happened, as you saw, nothing happened. But yeah, it's kind of cool. Okay, so in terms of cells, I'm going to let you guys decide as to whether or not these are the cells that you guys like to see. I personally don't know how this is going to dry. It's on wood. The only other test pieces I've done have been on canvas, so I'm not 100% sure how this is going to dry. But I can tilt it a little bit for you guys to see. Not too much, because I know some of you are going to say, leave it, leave it. Here, I'm going to bring it up closer for a look while I'm doing this. Does it have as many cells as the Australian Floetrol? I'm going to say no. And I find that comments from friends of mine have been that using the water as a cell activator makes the cells and makes the lacing or lightning or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I mean, we can call it whatever you want, AC/DC, thunderstruck, whatever. They're a lot finer. So the lacing or the lightning or the cells, the webbing around it, it's a lot finer, whereas the Australian Floetrol will give you significantly more pronounced lacing or lightning to your piece. So this is more delicate, and I think if you're working on a larger scale, you're gonna have to use something other than water and paint, because if you stretch it out, you're going to lose that lacing or lightning look. It's not going to be as significant. So that was my criticism from a good friend of mine in the Channel Islands, Claire, Trippy Acrylics, shout out to you. You're absolutely right. If you're working on a larger scale, and this isn't so much larger, it's a 4x4x1, but it does have depth on the sides, and then if you're going to stretch this out, you're going to have very, very fine lacing detail. So, my personal opinion, I prefer the Australian Floetrol, only because I like the look that it gives. My first video showed you that. Using that, you get more pronunciation in the cells and the lightning effect, right? Anyway, that's my opinion, but everyone has their own preference and style and the look that they like. I'm going to show you, I did 2 tests yesterday, just for you guys to see the difference. This one was done using Australian Floetrol as the cell activator, my old reliable iridescent turquoise underneath there, but it's a white cell activator. And this one was done, believe it or not, using only water. So on a smaller scale, these are just shy of 3x3 inches, little canvases. On a smaller scale, it works. It works like a charm. And if you're laying down multiple puddles on a panel or on a piece of wood or canvas, then it will work, no doubt. But if you're working on a larger scale, and I tend to do 1 puddle as opposed to multiple, then I find you get more success with the Australian Floetrol. I prefer it. I think it's the key to success, and I like the cells. I like the fatty lacing and webbing, so that's what I would choose. But anyhow, I thought I'd put this out. Next video, we're going to do mixing, and I will show you how I mix my paints. That way you can go off and try it. I will give you a few options in terms of pouring mediums, but my gloss varnish has been steady. I like the Jo Sonja's. I find I get really good results with that. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to making the next one, and hopefully you guys can comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on this one. Go off and create some beautiful art, make something nice, call it whatever you like. If I'm going to give credit to anybody, it's going to be David Alfaro Siqueiros, who basically discovered this cell action back in the 1930s. So I owe him some gratitude, although he passed away in 1974, but I'm sure he'd appreciate the shout out, although I don't think he would feel it's necessary. Anyhow, guys, go out there, create something beautiful, own your art, call it what you want. Isn't that a song by Foster the People? Yeah, call it what you want, and have fun and enjoy. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.